Hey everyone, I'm Bradford, the Penny Pincher's Guide to Personal Finance. First, make sure you hit that like button so we know to make more videos like it. Last week while I was vacationing, I promised I would come out with a video on how I was able to snag a suite on the Las Vegas Strip for what would normally cost $800 for just $167 all in, and how you can use the same strategy to take more vacations. So what is the secret to cutting your hotel costs so that way you can stretch your dollar further and travel more often? The secret here is with timeshare presentations. In my personal instance, Hilton's branch, which relates to their timeshares, is known as Hilton Grand Vacations, and they were offering a promotional vacation for $149 plus tax. You get 3 nights at a variety of locations that you could choose from, plus 25,000 Hilton Honors points. Now, the points alone were almost worth the entire cost of the vacation, so it was a no-brainer to be able to buy that so I could vacation a little bit. Now, the biggest drawback to this entire thing is that both my wife and myself had to attend a 2-hour timeshare presentation where Hilton Grand Vacations was going to try to sell us one of their timeshare options. Now, with all these timeshare promotional vacation options, the actual timeshare presentation is going to be the biggest drawback, and I'm going to address it at the end of the video. Now, speaking specifically to Hilton Grand Vacations, while this is probably the best deal that I've seen in a little bit, they are almost always offering some similar promotion that while it might be a little bit more expensive or you get a little bit fewer points, the basis is the same. For a heavily discounted amount, usually 50 to 75% off of what it would normally cost to book the hotel, you get in plus some sort of Hilton Honors points, all in exchange for attending a 2-hour timeshare presentation. Now, if Hilton isn't your thing, you like another brand, almost all of the major hotel chains have some sort of timeshare offshoot, which is going to offer some significantly reduced hotel rates in conjunction with a timeshare presentation package. Now, doing a quick Google search, I found Holiday Inn. They're currently offering for $249 plus tax. You can get 3 nights in a resort in Myrtle Beach. Now, if Hyatt's more your thing, you can vacation down in Key West for $499 for 3 nights, plus either 10,000 Hyatt points or $100 resort credit to use on whatever you want to do while you're vacationing down there. Now, if Marriott's more your thing and you want to get a little bit more exotic, you can vacation 2 nights in a studio suite down in Dubai for $199 plus tax. And for some of my real penny pinchers out there that are fans of Wyndham like me, because I like to travel with dogs and they usually don't charge a fee, you can stay at a local resort in Myrtle Beach for $199 plus tax, and you get a $200 American Express gift card, which aside from the taxes, pays for the whole vacation in and of itself. Now, all the offers that I just mentioned, and there are plenty more out there, are offering an amazing deal to you, the customer. It's giving you 50 up to 75 and sometimes even 90% off what the cost would normally be to book one of these hotels. But in big bold letters, they are not just trying to get you to vacation more. They are trying to get you to buy a timeshare. And that's why I'm going to give you a couple drawbacks that you definitely need to consider before you buy any or all of these vacation packages. The first is that these vacation packages are not going to be available to everybody because they often have a minimum income requirement, because these companies are not trying to advertise somebody who cannot actually afford to buy a timeshare in the first place. Now, if you find yourself in the middle income bracket or above, this is usually not going to be an issue. But if you're in a lower income bracket, the income requirements are going to be different depending on the company you're looking at. So it's going to require some digging on your own to find out which vacation packages are going to be a right fit for you. Now, the second drawback you need to consider is that because they're trying to get you to buy a timeshare, you can't repeatedly buy the same vacation package within a short period of time. With Hilton Grand Vacations, for example, you have a minimum window that you have to observe of 12 months between using your previous vacation package until you can buy a new one. And now again, with each company, it's going to differ depending on what the time periods are, but it's something to be aware of. You can't just plan on, every single year, I'm going to use the same vacation package, buy it, because the same vacation package is likely not going to be available year to year. And especially if they notice this is something that you're doing as a habit of, they might restrict you from actually buying those promotional packages in the first place. And finally, the biggest drawback, which I mentioned earlier, is that you actually have to attend the timeshare presentation. And they're going to make these timeshare presentations with the sole intent of getting you to buy a timeshare. And they're going to make it super duper appealing. They'll come in with some base offer of trying to get you in. And if that's still not having you, they're going to be like, okay, well, I can discount it by X amount. Or I can throw in some extra points where you can book more stays throughout the year. Or, hey, I can give you a 0% interest rate to cover the down payment on what the cost of the vacation is, cover the closing costs, and that way you don't even have to pay anything the first year or 18 months or 24 months or whatever sort of promotional financing that they offer you. The key here and the whole point, if they can get you in the door with this vacation promotion, no matter how much money they're losing over a couple days on terms of what they would normally charge for those rooms, if they can get you to buy a timeshare, they're going to more than make up their loss with both the initial cost of you buying the timeshare as well as the annual fees that they're going to get into perpetuity until you sell that timeshare with regards to your HOA fees that are going to be due each and every year. So what is the right way to approach these timeshare presentations? You need to go in knowing exactly what your finances are. For one thing, do not go in and be like, maybe I will buy a timeshare today. That is absolutely not the right way to approach this. And I'm not saying that all timeshares are bad. They are certainly an excellent tool to be able to vacation more often for some people. But buying it on a whim is not the way to do it. You need to plan it out and make sure it fits into your budget as an entirety in terms of how you are planning on vacationing, and make sure it fits, whether you're going to use it, whether you can afford it, and if it is actually going to those locations that you want to vacation to. But for everybody else, you need to go in knowing you are absolutely not going to buy a timeshare. It doesn't matter what sort of promotions that they put in front of you, how heavily they discount it. That is not something that you're going there for. You're attending the timeshare because it is your half of the contract that you are required to attend in exchange for that heavily discounted vacation that you purchased. It doesn't matter what sort of pressure tactics they use or what sort of awesome deals they present before you. Do not buy them, or else the entire vacation promotion package that you purchased was not a good deal. You spent significantly more than you meant to in the first place. Now, so you reach the end of the presentation and you've held firm. This is when a good opportunity actually might present itself out of the timeshare presentation. And they're like, okay, this person seems interested because of how you presented yourself, but they're not buying a presentation today. We want them to sit in front of another timeshare presentation in maybe a year or 2 years when they've kind of figured things out and they're more likely to buy. And that's a situation that presented itself to my wife and I, where we were given the opportunity to buy yet another timeshare presentation promotion vacation package that is certainly a mouthful, where we're going to be able to exchange that for 7 nights in Hawaii. We're going to make a whole family vacation of it in 2023 for much less than 50% of what the normal cost would be. And we're going to be able to go during the hot season when everybody's trying to vacation and prices are through the roof. So that is something that can come out as a good out of a timeshare presentation. That's certainly not something that's going to happen in every single instance, but it is a possibility to be aware of as something that you can use to work in your favor. Now, I think timeshare presentations are a great way to go on maybe an extra vacation once a year or every other year for a really heavily discounted rate. Now, if timeshare presentations are not your thing and you're still trying to stretch your dollar to go on as many vacations as possible, make sure you check out our videos on the American Express Platinum Card and the Chase Sapphire Card, which are 2 great travel cards to help you make your money go a little bit further. I want to thank you for joining me today, and until next time, just remember to pinch a little.